Hello everyone. Today we are going to revise the VSEPR theory, valence shell, electron pair, repulsion theory. So what is VSEPR theory? Valence shell, electron pair, repulsion theory. Okay. So what is VSEPR here? Valence shell, electron pair, repulsion theory. So it is valence shell. EP means what? Electron pair. And R means what here? Repulsion. Okay? Repulsion. Okay. Now here in this valence shell electron pair repulsion theory, here the what is valence shell? Outermost orbit. Outermost orbit. Outermost orbit of which atom? Central atom or surrounding atom? Central atom. Valence shell or outermost orbit of central atom we have taken. A electron pair will be of two types, na? Bond pair and lone pair. Bond pair and lone pair. BP and LP. What is it? BP and LP. So bond pair and lone pair. So now here between the bond pair repulsions will be there. Between lone pair repulsions will be there. And between bond pair and lone pair some repulsions will be there. So the repulsions will be between bond pair, lone pair, and bond pair, lone pair. In which orbit? In the outermost orbit. Means in the valence shell of central atom. Valence shell means outermost orbit of central atom. There will be sometimes only bond pairs. There will be sometimes both bond pairs and lone pairs. Okay. Like that, there will be three types of repulsions. What are they? Bond pair repulsions between two bond pairs, and lone pair repulsions between two lone pairs, and bond pair repulsions between one bond pair and one lone pair. There will be repulsion called bond pair lone pair repulsion. So because of these repulsions, the molecule gets what? A particular geometry. The molecule gets particular shape. A particular geometry is attained by each and every molecule, covalent molecule, by what now here? The repulsions between the bond pairs and the lone pairs. Is that clear? So it is a valence shell, electron pair, repulsion theory. Already we have discussed this topic. Just we are recapping. Okay, it is the revision of VSEPR. Next. So here, suppose we imagine NH3. NH3 molecule. What is ammonia? NH3. So NH3 I have it. NH3, what is the name? Ammonia molecule. Ammonia molecule. In this ammonia, what is central atom here? Nitrogen is central atom. Nitrogen is central atom. So this central nitrogen atom, the central nitrogen atom, okay, has how many valence electrons? 5 valence electrons. Actually, it is what group, what here? 5 or 15, group 15. 5 here we can say, or group 15 we can say. Group Roman number 5A or 15. A 15 group elements will have how many valence electrons? 5 valence electrons. 5 valence electrons. So how many valence electrons will be there here? 5 valence electrons will be there. And also here, this nitrogen has how many monovalent atoms around it? 3 monovalent atoms. How many monovalent atoms? 3 monovalent atoms. So nitrogen will provide about 3 electrons in the bond formation, 3 bond formation, and 1 lone pair will be left over. On the nitrogen, 3 electrons given in 3 bonds. In 3 bonds formation, 3 electrons given, right? And here 2 more electrons there. The 2 more electrons will be in the form of lone pair. It is what now here lone pair. Here hydrogen also gives 1 electron. Hydrogen gives 1 electron. Hydrogen gives 1 electron. So it is bond pair. How many bond pairs here? 3 bond pairs. 3 bond pairs and how many lone pairs? 1 lone pair. So 1 lone pair is there here. 1 lone pair is there, and 3 bond pairs are there. So 1 lone pair and 3 bond pairs are present around the central atom here. What is central atom here? Nitrogen. Why nitrogen is central atom here? The nitrogen is what now here? Central atom, because hydrogen cannot form what? More than 1 bond. Okay, so here which is forming more number of bonds, nitrogen can form more number of bonds, hydrogen can form less number of bonds. That's why the atom with more number of bonds, atom which can form more number of bonds generally will be central atom. Hydrogen and fluorine can never be central atoms. Hydrogen atom and fluorine atom can never be central atom because the hydrogen and fluorine both are what small sized atoms and they can form only one bond. That is the reason. Okay, take the screenshots. Just a moment now. Yeah. So here, what is this now here? Uh, so in this example now, in this example, what we have to understand, the central atom is nitrogen. The nitrogen belongs to group 15 or Roman number 5A. Group 15 elements have 5 valence electrons. Out of 5 valence electrons, the nitrogen has contributed 3 electrons in 3 bonds formation. Okay, and still one lone pair is left over on it. So nitrogen has what now here? One lone pair on it. One one lone pair and 3 bond pairs. So 3 bond pairs are there, 1 lone pair is there. So like this, nitrogen has what now here? 3 bond pairs, 1 lone pair. So totally how many electron pairs around this nitrogen? Around the nitrogen in the outermost orbit. So in the valence shell of nitrogen, totally how many electrons are there? So totally 4 electron pairs. So totally how many electron pairs around the nitrogen atom? Totally 4 electron pairs are there. So among these 4 electron pairs, how many bond pairs? 3 bond pairs and 1 lone pair. And which bond pairs will decide, which electron pairs will decide the shape of the molecule? The shape of the molecule is decided by only bond pairs. Only bond pairs. And remember that the totally 4 electron pairs means here it will be sp3 hybridization. What is hybridization type here? sp3 hybridization. Why sp3 hybridization? Here 4 hybrid orbitals we have to take. HO indicates what? Hybrid orbitals. 4 electron pairs totally indicates what? 4 hybrid orbitals in that central atom. 4 hybrid orbitals will be giving what now here? Concept of sp3 hybridization. So the nitrogen undergoes which hybridization here? sp3 hybridization. So nitrogen atom, that is central atom, undergoes what? sp3 hybridization. Means in the valence shell, in the outermost orbit of nitrogen atom, one s orbital mixes with 3 p orbitals to form totally 4 hybrid orbitals. The total number of electron pairs equals to total number of hybrid orbitals. That is why the sp3 hybridization will be in nitrogen atom, in this ammonia molecule. Okay, so hybridization we understood here. Whenever sp3 hybridization is there, let's take the screenshot of this. Take the screenshot of this. Yeah. So what we discussed here now in NH3, one lone pair is a 3 bond pairs. 3 bond pairs, 3 bond pairs plus what? One lone pair. One lone pair is a 3 bond pairs. So totally how many electron pairs? 4 electron pairs. Indicates what? 4 hybrid orbitals. 4 hybrid orbitals and sp3 hybridization. Due to sp3 hybridization, generally what should be shaped now? Orbital geometry. These 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals will get which shape now? Orbital. The orbital geometry will be what now? Tetrahedral. What is orbital geometry? Tetrahedral. So tetrahedral geometry. Tetrahedral geometry is what now here? Orbital geometry. Remember, the orbitals, 4 orbitals get this shape. So it is called what now here? Orbital geometry. Orbital geometry. So orbital geometry meaning what now? The shape taken by 4 orbitals. The 4 hybrid orbitals have taken the shape tetrahedral geometry. This is called orbital geometry. And orbital geometry is not always molecular geometry. Remember, the molecule of NH3 will not have shape of orbital geometry. Orbital geometry is what? Tetrahedral geometry. But here in this case, now what we have observed, hydrogen has what now 3 bond pairs with 3 hydrogen atoms and 1 lone pair on it. Okay, so this lone pair will be in one sp3 hybrid orbital. In one sp3 hybrid orbital, what is there here? Lone pair is there. So what is shape of hybrid orbital generally? Club shape, CLUB, 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 club shape. In one sp3 hybrid orbital, what is there here? One lone pair is present, and it is bond pair, it is bond pair, it is bond pair. 3 bond pairs are there, one lone pair is there. Okay. Now, which pairs will decide the shape of the molecule? I told you only bond pairs. Only bond pairs will decide the shape of the molecule. Now, shape of molecule is what now? Molecular geometry. Molecular geometry is given by what now? Only bond pairs. It is what now here? Pyramid shape. What is here? Pyramidal geometry. Trigonal pyramidal, we can say. What we say? Trigonal pyramidal geometry. So trigonal pyramidal geometry is what now? Molecular geometry of this NH3. But orbital geometry of NH3 is what? Tetrahedral geometry. The 4 hybrid orbitals will take tetrahedral shape. See here now sp3 1, sp3 2, sp3 3, sp3 4. 4 hybrid orbitals here. 3 sp3 hybrid orbitals have 3 bond pairs, and 1 sp3 hybrid orbital has 1 lone pair. Like this, totally 4 hybrid orbitals have taken tetrahedral shape. But the molecular geometry is decided by only bond pairs. Na? This lone pair will not be taken for molecular geometry. Only 3 bond pairs we take. So this shape is called what now here? Pyramid shape here. What is called? Pyramid shape. Trigonal pyramid geometry we see. Trigonal pyramid geometry. It is about what now here? Pyramid geometry of NH3 molecules. Let's take the screenshot. Next. Now, next example, I'm taking here H2. What is another example? H2. So, water molecule. So, this water molecule has what is central atom here? Oxygen has central atom. Why oxygen is central atom here? Oxygen is central atom. Why oxygen is central atom here? Because oxygen can form 2 bonds, but each hydrogen can form 1 bond. That's why whichever is forming more number of bonds, that will be central atom generally. Okay, and hydrogen can never be central atom. Hydrogen atom and fluorine atoms. And here oxygen belongs to which group here? Group 16. Which group? Group 16. Roman number 6A we say. Roman number 6A. Now, how many valence electrons will be there? 6 valence electrons. How many valence electrons in the oxygen atom? 6 valence electrons. Out of 6 valence electrons around the oxygen central atom, how many monovalent hydrogen atoms there? 2 monovalent. So oxygen has formed what? 1 bond with hydrogen, 1 bond with hydrogen. So here oxygen has given 1 electron in this bond formation, 1 electron in this bond formation. And this hydrogen has given 1 electron, hydrogen has given 1 electron. So it is 1 bond pair. It is 1 bond pair. Still, oxygen has contributed 2 electrons only. No? This is 1 electron of oxygen. This is 1 electron of oxygen. Still, how many electrons will be there here in oxygen? 4 electrons there. 4 electrons will be in the form of how many lone pairs? 2 lone pairs. So how many lone pairs here? 2 lone pairs. Here we can fit here, or we can write here also. Around the oxygen, 2 lone pairs are there and 2 bond pairs. So I'm taking here. Okay. So how many lone pairs now? 2 lone pairs and 2 bond pairs. Now it is the outermost orbit of what? Oxygen central atom. Okay, it is what? Valence shell of oxygen atom. So in the valence shell of oxygen atom, that is central atom, in H2O molecule, how many lone pairs totally? 2 lone pairs are there and 2 bond pairs are there. So now it is what now here? Valence shell of what? Oxygen. Valence shell of what? Oxygen atom. Now it contains how many lone pairs? 2 lone pairs plus 2 bond pairs. 2 lone pairs and 2 bond pairs. Now totally how many electron pairs now? Totally 4 electron pairs. If 4 electron pairs are present totally, what will be the number of hybrid orbitals? 4 hybrid orbitals. Therefore, 4 hybrid orbitals. How many hybrid orbitals in oxygen atom here? 4 hybrid orbitals. 4 hybrid orbitals indicates what? sp3 hybridization. sp3 hybridization is there in oxygen atom in water molecule. So how to identify hybridization is here from valence shell theory. According to this one here, now oxygen has 6 electrons totally in the valence shell. Out of 6 electrons, 2 electrons given in the 2 bonds formation with 2 hydrogen atoms. After that, the remaining 4 electrons will be available in the form of 2 lone pairs. As this lone pair will be in one hybrid orbital, this lone pair will be in one hybrid orbital. So like this, sp3 hybrid orbitals will be present in oxygen atom. How many lone pairs here? 2 lone pairs and 2 bond pairs. Is that clear? So now here, what is understood here? Oxygen atom has what? 2 bond pairs, and take like this. 2 bond pairs and 2 lone pairs. Totally 2 lone pairs are there, 2 bond pairs are there. And now it is having what now? 4 electron pairs. Totally 4 electron pairs in what? Valence shell. In valence shell, how many electrons there? 4 electron pairs. Therefore, 4 hybrid orbitals. 4 hybrid indicates what? sp3 hybridization. Due to sp3 hybridization, what is molecular geometry or orbital geometry? What we have to take first? Orbital geometry. The orbital geometry is nothing but the geometry of what? Orbitals. How many orbitals here? 4. The 4 hybrid orbitals will take one shape called what now? Tetrahedral geometry. Tetrahedral geometry is what here? Orbital geometry. Orbital geometry of H2O molecule is what? Tetrahedral. But here, which bond pairs are lone pairs? Which will be deciding the molecular shape? So the molecular geometry is decided by what only? Molecular geometry is decided by only bond pairs. See here, bond pair. OH bond, OH bond, OH bond. This is one bond pair, this is one bond pair. Only bond pairs will decide what? The molecular shape. The molecular shape or molecular geometry of this H2O is what now here? Bent shape. What is? Bent shape. Bent. Or we say angular shape. What we say? Angular shape. Angle, like angle it is there, no? So angular shape we say. Or we say what now here? V shape. Inverted V shape. What we say? Actually inverted V we have to say. Inverted V shape. So simply V shape also we can say. So V shape or angular shape or bent shape. Angular shape or bent shape or V shape we can say. So what? It is called molecular geometry. This molecular geometry is decided by what? Decided by what? Only bond pairs. So this is one bond pair, this is one bond pair. And this lone pair is present in one sp3 hybrid orbital. And this lone pair is present in one sp3 hybrid orbital. Okay, so this is in sp3 hybrid orbital, this one is in sp3 hybrid orbital. So two lone pairs are located in two sp3 hybrid orbitals. And here bond pair is in sp3 hybrid orbital. Another bond pair also is in sp3 hybrid orbital. Is that clear? Now this bond is what now? Between sp3 hybrid orbital of oxygen and s orbital of hydrogen. So it is what now we have sigma sp3 s bond. Sigma sp3 s bond. So this is one sigma sp3s. This is one sigma sp3s. A single bond is always sigma bond, and this sigma bond is between which orbitals? sp3 hybrid orbital of oxygen atom and s orbital of hydrogen atom. This way we have to understand what now here? The molecular geometry and orbital geometry both. Is that clear, ma? Let's take the screenshot of this. Now next thing here, NH3 and H2O we discussed. No? So here NH3 has got one lone pair on oxygen. H2O has got now two lone pairs on oxygen atom. Here central atom has one lone pair. Here central atom has two lone pairs. Is that clear? Now here totally how many electron pairs in this? In this one now here three electron pairs, three bond pairs are there, plus one lone pair is there. Three bond pairs and one lone pair. Now this notation is called VSEPR notation. What we say? VSEPR notation. VSEPR notation is what here? A, B3, N. A is what now? Central atom. A is what now? Central atom. And what is B? Bond pairs. Bond pairs. Number of bond pairs. And L is what? Lone pairs. So number of lone pairs will be given by L. Number of bond pairs will be given by what? Number of bond pairs will be given by B. So here B3 indicates what? 3 bond pairs. L indicates what? 1 lone pair. And totally how many electron pairs here? Totally 4 electron pairs. 3 bond pairs and 1 lone pair. That's why here A is one of central atom. How many central atoms there? 1 is there. 1 central atom nitrogen is there and 3 bond pairs around it, 1 lone pair around it in the outermost orbit of central atom. Is that clear? So it is what now B3L means totally 4 electron pairs. Totally 4 electron pairs indicates what? 4 hybrid orbitals. 4 hybrid orbitals indicates what? sp3 hybridation. sp3 hybridation we have taken. Is that clear? Next. Here H2O is there. Here H2O. In case of H2O here, how many lone pairs? How many bond pairs? 2 lone pairs plus 2 bond pairs. 2 lone pairs of electrons and 2 bond pairs of electrons. Totally how many electron pairs? 4. So what is the notation now? 1 central atom A and B2 L2. Totally how many electrons? Electron pairs? Totally 4 electron pairs. 2 plus 2 bond pairs and 2 lone pairs. 4 electron pairs indicates what? 4 hybrid orbitals. 4 hybrid orbitals indicates what? sp3. Like this, B2 L2 means what now? We have 4 hybrid orbitals. Means it should be sp3 hybridation. Like this, we have to understand the concept. Okay, is that clear now? Let's take the screenshot of this. Next, here what we have to also understand is that NH3 molecule and H2O molecule. In this now here, how many lone pairs there? 1 lone pair, 2 what here? 1 lone pair and 3 bond pairs. No? Here, which type of repulsions will be there? Tell me. Which type of repulsions possible here? Between here it is bond pair. Okay, so between bond pair, there will be repulsions. Between bond pair. Here, between lone pair, bond pair, repulsion will be there. Between this lone pair, this bond pair, repulsion will be there. This is called what now here? LP-BP repulsion. This is also LP-BP repulsion. And this is what? BP-BP repulsion. BP-BP repulsion. So between bond pair, and between lone pair, what will be there? Repulsions will be there. Is that clear? Here if we take oxygen, here oxygen has got bent shape. Bent shape. In this case now here, it is 1 bond pair, it is 1 bond pair. Here lone pair, here lone pair. Now between lone pair, what will be repulsion? Lone pair, repulsion. Between lone pair, what will be repulsion? LP-BP repulsion. Between bond pair, what will be repulsion? BP-BP. So 3 types of repulsions here. What are they? So here it is LP versus LP. Here it is LP, BP. LP-BP repulsion. Here it is BP versus BP. So BP-BP repulsion. Here in this case, what are there? LP not there. LP not there. Between LP and BP there. LP-BP is there and BP-BP is there. Here what are there? LP repulsions and BP repulsions. Which type of repulsions not available here? Which type of repulsion not there in this case? Here LP and BP there. LP and BP. LP-BP and BP-BP, that's all. LP not there because only 1 lone pair is there. No? That's it. Okay. Let's take the screenshot of this one. Next, now here, among these electron pairs, which will be having more repulsion, which will be having less repulsion, we have to understand. So order of what? No? Order of repulsions. Order of what? The strength of repulsions. Order of strength of repulsions. Okay, repulsions will be like this. So now here LP repulsions. LP repulsions will be stronger than LP-BP. LP-BP will be stronger than BP-BP. Is that clear? So it will be BP-BP. Okay. Is that clear? So here, which repulsion will be stronger here? LP repulsions will be stronger than LP-BP repulsions, and LP-BP repulsions will be stronger than BP-BP repulsions. So this is order of strength of repulsions. Why LP repulsions are greater here? If you take oxygen with the two hydrogen atoms, here two lone pairs there. No? So now here it is bond pair. It is one bond pair. Now this electron pair, this lone pair, the lone pair is influenced by only one nucleus of oxygen. Only the oxygen nucleus influences what? The lone pairs. The lone pair is influenced by only one nucleus, oxygen nucleus. So its electron cloud will be extended. Its electron cloud will be extended. It is also lone pair. No? So lone pair electron cloud will be larger. Okay, that's why because of larger extent of electron clouds of lone pairs, they will repel each other to greater extent. This lone pair, they will repel each other to greater extent because of what? Larger area occupied by the electron cloud of lone pairs. Why lone pairs are having larger electron clouds, more extended electron cloud? Why? Because the lone pair is attracted by only the nucleus of central atom. It is not influenced by surrounding atoms like hydrogen atoms here. But if you check this bond pair, the bond pair is attracted by what? This nucleus and this nucleus. This bond pair is attracted by both oxygen nucleus and hydrogen nucleus. That is, the bond pair is having influence of both nuclei. Means both the nuclei have influence on the bond pair. That's why it will be what here occupying very less extent, means less area. The bond pair will occupy small area. So the electron cloud, the charge cloud of bond pair will be smaller, but the charge cloud of lone pair will be larger. Okay, that's why here lone pair repulsions will be stronger than lone pair bond pair repulsions, which are stronger than bond pair repulsions. So this area we have to understand. Let's take the screenshot. Take it. If you take now BeCl, what is central atom? Beryllium. Why beryllium central atom here? The beryllium is less electronegative atom. Cl is more electronegative atom. Generally, the central atom will be less electronegative atom. Beryllium contributes one electron, here one electron. Cl gives here, Cl gives here. So like this now, around the beryllium in the valence shell, how many electron pairs? 2 electron pairs. What are they? 2 bond pairs only. 2 bond pairs. There are no lone pairs here. It is a molecule with only bond pairs. Only bond pairs in this molecule. Okay. So it is what now here having notation about A, central atom A, B2. That's all. A, B2. B2 means 2 bond pairs. A is what? Central atom. So AB2 is what now? BSCPR notation of BeCl2.